it's interesting how often, even though God continually says, only my prophet can lead my church, how often people say, well, what about in this instance? Well, no, there's no other instance. The prophet leads the church. Well, but what if he's wrong about, I don't think you heard the first part, and that's the prophet leads the church. And I think that's incumbent upon us as disciples, is that we all have different social ideas, political ideas. We all have different backgrounds. We come from different cultures all over the world. And oftentimes what causes us to follow a prophet or not is whether or not that prophet is saying what we already believe. Yeah. But the problem is, if you only follow a prophet when they're saying what you already believe, well, then you don't need a prophet, right? The whole point of the prophet is to tell you something that you wouldn't otherwise believe. You don't need a prophet to tell you to stay in Jerusalem because you were always going to stay in Jerusalem. A prophet tells you to leave Jerusalem, and that's certainly the reality of what Brigham Young is doing here. He is telling these people to walk 1,400 miles to a wilderness, and that there things are going to be fine. Well, that's for people who thought it was going to be a pleasure cruise, having gone across Iowa, they realize that it's not. And I think the Lord really has to take the time to remind them, Zion is not just a place. Zion is the people that are going to make that place.